Hello YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay, thanks. Okay, today I haven't found a very good woman on YouTube. Wow, I was quite shocked. She's Japanese and she published 2 books, one of which I have at home. A little while ago, I was trying to use that textbook she published. And I listened to the audio for the book. Today or nowadays or these days, books don't come with CDs, right? Instead, they offer free downloading, right? I can't say that I love it very much because sometimes using a CD, playing a CD can be more useful to me, depending on the time though, depending on the situation though. Anyway, I just access to the site where they offer the audio and I listened to it. And I was quite surprised to listen to it because somehow, for some reason, there are 3 versions of the same audio. I mean, there is this 10-second reading, okay? And 3 people are reading the text. I'm not really sure why 3 people are reading the same text or same story, which lasts about 10 seconds, okay? 10 seconds. And the first person is an American man, and the second is an American woman, and her voice sounds pretty young, and the third person's voice is like a native speaker who is a bit older than the second person. And they introduced who is reading those texts. I mean, who are the narrators. And one of them is actually Japanese. And the person is the third person who reads the text. And she is actually the person who published this book. I was shocked because her English, her pronunciation is superb, unbelievable, amazing, excellent, more than excellent. Marvelous. I can't believe Japanese person can pronounce English as good as that. Wow. And I checked her name. I searched her name on YouTube and there is, I don't know how to say it, but she has a YouTube channel and her name is Masa? Yeah, Masa Konishi. Okay. She has a company and she's a representative of the company. And she's also an English teacher there. And she teaches English at her school every day. And in her YouTube channel, she reads picture book, okay? Her pronunciation is great. And I tried to copy her, but I don't know how to pronounce English like her. She is unbelievable. She's such an inspiration to me. Wow. I really want to keep watching her channel. Wow. Okay. And then I got shocked, and to be totally honest with you, I lost confidence. But my losing my confidence doesn't mean anything, because it's not helpful at all, right? So all I have to do is to gather my courage. Is that okay? Is this expression is the one I can use in this context? Gather my courage and just think about the best way for me to learn from her, and what is the best way for me to do to be like her. I still have lots of room to grow, and she's a good role model, another good model. She's such an inspiration to me. Yeah, I'm saying it again and again, but okay. And next, yeah, as for the Kindle I bought 2 days ago, I've been reading with it, and I've been reading Jay Shetty's book titled Think Like a Monk. It's an interesting story. It's inspirational, educational, enlightening, and it's wonderful. But I can be distracted from time to time while reading the book somehow, for some reason. I don't know. And then I tried to read a different book, another book of the sample I downloaded at the same time as I bought the Jay Shetty's book, Think Like a Monk. I just downloaded the sample of the book and just left there, and I didn't read it yet. I hadn't read it yet, but since I got a little bit tired of reading the Jay Shetty's book, Jay Shetty's book, I tried to read the sample for a change. And the style of writing between those two books are quite different. Jay Shetty's book is somewhat more serious, although it also contains some humor. But the sample book I downloaded was turned out to be a bit more comical, with much more more humor. It comes with more humor, and when I compare these books, I find Jay's book is easier for me to read and understand, because for sometimes understanding jokes is a bit too difficult for me to do. So in terms of that, when I went back to Jay's book, it turned out to be even easier for me to read. When I went back to the Jay's book and I started reading it again, and I realized that, it's quite simple and easy to read for me. Easy for me to read. And then I started reading it again, and now I find it more interesting. Before I started reading the Jay's book, Think Like a Monk, I finished one book, which I was able to read almost for free because I am subscribing to Kindle Unlimited. It was a book written by an American author, female author, and maybe it's a spoiler alert, but it was about a teenage boy, and he committed a crime. I mean, he is a sex offender, and he is in high school, but he had to be in a treatment institution because he did the crime. And what he did was, when he was in school and he was in swimming club, and he was in charge of teaching younger kids how to swim. And there he touches two younger girls' private parts. That's what the book said. And he was arrested because his mother regarded the incident as just a child's play, like, I don't know how to it, but doctor play or something. And it was not a big deal for her. That's how she regarded it, though. And she didn't know it until her son had decided to tell her about it, because he was having a hard time having the secret within himself. He was really excruciating because he didn't tell anyone about it, and he didn't know what to do. And he confessed to his mother about what he did. And her mother was shocked. And for me, the mother was a bit overprotective to her son. And she didn't want to make it big or serious, but she decided to tell the incident. She decided to tell her husband about it. And one day, they told the husband about what the son had done, and his father got shocked, and he threw up in the bathroom. But he didn't seem to be indifferent. He was acting a bit strange, and he didn't want to take it seriously. Yeah, he understood that it was a very serious matter, but he didn't face the fact. He didn't even try to face the fact. And I wondered why. That was a bit strange. And then they decided to tell the parents of the girls. They invited them to their house, and for dinner or something. But the parents who were invited were suspicious because they would feel something like, why would they invite us for dinner or something like that. But anyway, they came to their house. And at first, the parents of the son who did the crime, didn't know how to broach a topic. But then they talked about it to the parents of the girls. And of course, they got shocked. And they got angry, furious. And they just went home. Okay, my English is terrible, right? Okay, I'll work hard. And then the mother hadn't imagined things would get that serious. But the next day, the police came to their house because the parents of those girls, informed the police. And then police came and they interrogated the son, and they took the son to a police station or treatment center or something. And then he was sent to the treatment center and to get treatment for a certain amount of time. 1.5 years. They had to live apart for his treatment while he was taking the treatment. And he's a child molester. He's a pedophile. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this word properly, though. And the situation around him changed so much for the bad, for the worse. And everybody around him, including him, suffered so much, unbelievably. And it was very serious and very sad story. And he ended up coming home, but the parents of the son had to live apart. The mother decided to live with him to protect him, and the father decided to live with his sister. He has a sister who is, how old is she? I wonder. 2 years younger than he is. He has a 2-year younger sister. And the sister loves her brother so much, and they get along with each other very much. But sadly, they had to live apart. They can only meet once a week or so because of what he did. He was responsible and he knew he was responsible, and but he also doesn't know what to do with his tendency, and he has a hard time coming up with the idea of how to live his life from there. And the mother is mother is trying so hard to protect him and help him. And the father, on the contrary, was indifferent, totally indifferent. He doesn't even bother to go to the treatment center to visit him, almost never. And if he goes there, he doesn't look at his son's face. And it was so strange to me. But everybody is not happy. But his sister loves her brother so much and she also knows what her brother did. And she says she doesn't care about it because she loves her brother so much, and she doesn't care what other people says about him. And she even says that she doesn't care if she's sexually abused by her brother. That's so crazy, right? The biggest concern of the father was that, and that's the main reason of their living apart though, was that he was worried that if his son starts abusing his sister sexually, living in the same house, under the same roof, that's what the father worries about the most. So that's why they decided to live apart, even though the mother disagreed it. And she was like, she should be very careful not to let such a thing happen. But the father disagreed. And yeah, my English is terrible, right? Today I can't speak well at all because this is my first time to talk about this. It's good practice though. Okay, let me try. And the son wasn't very happy. The mother works really hard. Deplorable. It's so deplorable. Seeing her working hard is just deplorable. And the father is indifferent. He's not cooperative at all. And they had to move too, because the neighbors, everybody in the town, it's a small town and it's a very peaceful town, and they would love the area that was their dream area. But they no longer were able to live there because there was this rumor went around, and they had to move out of the area, move to a different area, pretty far away from the area they were living. And after getting back from the treatment center, he goes to a new school, but there someone detects I don't know, someone knew what he had done, and he got shocked, and he was attacked. He got injured. He was bleeding. But he asked his mother not to call 911 because he didn't want it to make it big. Everything looked scary. Everything looked, I don't know, I can't come up with any good adjective to explain this, but devastating, right? Devastating. And it was really hard for me to keep reading the book, but it was so-called page turner. It was a very interesting book. The story was terrible. I didn't expect the book to be like that, to deal with the subject. I never expected it. I happened to download the book. I came across a book somehow while looking for a book, some other books. And then I came across the book, and I just downloaded it for some reason. And then when I just started reading it, I still didn't expect it to be like that. I mean, to deal with such a topic. And as I read, I began to realize that it was about sex offender or something like that. But story itself is pretty interesting and exciting and thrilling because I don't know, somehow the way the book was written, the vocabulary the book uses, I don't know what attracted me so much, but the story itself is deplorable and devastating and very dark. And at the end, the son decided to kill himself. And even he tried it twice. Once he took a lot of medicine, but he threw up. But he didn't want his mother to call an ambulance. And the second time was he hanged himself, but he was saved. He was unconscious, but his life was saved. But he didn't want to be saved, actually, and he really wanted to kill himself. And he said that he was going to do it again. And his mother was shocked to hear that, and she says she does everything to stop him from doing it. But she ended up helping him die in the end, though. And they did it. Their attempt succeeded, and he died. And the mother helped her son die. It's a crime, right? But they did it so well that it was not found out. But the story didn't end there. The father had a secret, and he revealed at the end. He didn't tell anybody about his secret, but at the end of the book, he talks to himself and confesses it. Okay. The father was actually a sex offender when he was younger. But in those days, there was no way that people got to know about it. So it was just a secret. I strongly believe that the father shouldn't have married in the first place, because his trait could have been inherited, right? Yeah, it did. And his son had the same trait as his. And it's a big, very serious issue. And the story got me thinking a lot. Nowadays, I kind of think that when you have a child, you should have a second thought. You have to think it through, because in this day and age, the world is not, I can't say that the world is a very safe place to live, full of happiness and full of hope. I don't want to say like this, but I think it's true. And some people who have their own childhood trauma say on YouTube that they don't recommend people have kids because they are not sure if kids can become happy in this gloomy, I don't know how to say this, but gloomy condition, world situation. I agreed with them, honestly. Okay. I don't think I was able to do it well. I don't think I was able to talk about this book very well. I hope. And my past, present, future tenses were not okay, because I sometimes use past tense, I sometimes present tense, and sometimes got them together, mixed together or something like that, right? Yeah, but this is practice, so I don't want it to discourage me too much. Okay, thank you very much for listening anyway. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you. Happy weekend. No, happy weekend. What day is it today? Yeah, today's Saturday, right? Yeah, yes. Happy weekend. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.